Good evening, Eamon here from Ashlawn Farm. Some people couldn't hear me saying the proper name of the farm, and what my YouTube channel is known as Ashlawn Farm, the name of my farm. I'm out here along the canal in Mullingar on a beautiful February day. I believe it's 13th of February, which tomorrow is Valentine's Day. So I hope you are all very in a romantic mood. They'll be buying the chocolates and the flowers, and I'm not sure whether we should be buying the chocolates or not, because certainly it's coming into the spring and we should be looking towards getting fit and more healthier. And that's why I said I'd pop on to put up a video on retirement. Now it's time to start looking at what we're going to do for the summer. It's a beautiful time of year, the springtime, so you can start planning of what you want to do. And if you're not into gardening. Okay, if you're into gardening, there's no point in I start to preach to ye on what to do. But if you're not into gardening, what it would be a very nice thing to start and to do a few raised beds. Even if you're living in a housing estate or a house with a small garden or a small yard, you'd have room for a couple raised beds. And you could start planting, things like a bit of onion, lettuce, and a herb bed, and various other small pieces of cabbage, even a few carrots, and all the rest. And it's a brilliant way of staying in touch with nature and the earth, and particularly when you're working with soil, and particularly working with soil with your hands. It's very therapeutic, and it is very, very good way of relaxing. An absolute opportunity as well to start doing this raised bed. That'd be a herbal bed, or whatever you feel like planting in it or sowing in it with your grandchildren. And maybe wait until your grandchildren comes over and go down to the hardware store and pick up some timber and some screws and all that goes with it. And if you haven't the saws and equipment to chop it up and cut it up into the right lengths, I'm sure some of your neighbours would have it. So it'd be a nice project, maybe a couple of your neighbours to join together, and you could make a couple of raised beds, and afterwards have a cup of tea and a social occasion over it. And maybe get to know some of your neighbours, or get to reacquaint yourself with your neighbours again, particularly if you have been very busy working and rearing your family. You mightn't have time to have talked to some of your neighbours for the last good few years. And then invite maybe your grandchildren or even some of the neighbours' children in to help out, to plant and sow the seeds in this herb bed, or this onion bed, or lettuce, or this small vegetable plot. You can also grow them in pots and also in black refuse sacks. If you fill them with soil, make sure you leave drainage and holes in them, and put some sand or gravel in the bottom of it so that there is drainage. And it's a brilliant opportunity to get out, get working, and get yourself fit. And you will enjoy so much to see the seeds coming up and the plants coming up, and maybe harvesting them later on in the year. So I'd really love if some of ye would start doing it, and maybe start posting up a few pictures of them in Facebook or in YouTube, and get active and get out and get away from the television. So you have to go to the hardware store, you have to go to this store to get the seeds and compost, and go to the garden centre, maybe pick up a half-ton bag of soil or whatever. But a really, really good opportunity to start planning what you want to do now, and do it, as I say, along with maybe your grandchildren, or even your wife or your husband, or your partner, or whoever in life with you, or one of your neighbours. Make it a social occasion. And then next summer you could sit out and have a cup of tea and a biscuit or a glass of milk or water or whatever that, and look at what's growing. And another brilliant opportunity would be to plant a few fruit bushes like blackcurrants, raspberry bushes, gooseberries, blueberries. They take up very little space and they can supply so much beautiful fruit. I see my son that farms alongside me, and every morning for his breakfast he has fruit that they harvest from, some of it from their own garden, and a lot of it was blackberries. They went out and got them in the harvest them from the bushes and that along their farm, and they put them into small containers and freeze them, and each morning he can take out one of these, warm up his porridge and put them in, and he's beautiful fresh fruit. So just think of what I'm saying. Maybe set up your raised bed along with whoever, or if you can do it completely on your own. But if you could get and make a social occasion about it, it would be absolutely brilliant. And I'm looking forward for some of you to put some of them up on YouTube or on Facebook, your endeavours. Aiming here from the banks of the canal in Mullingar, County Westmeath, the centre of Ireland, signing off. Thank you.